MP She Onwurah, stage is yours.
Thank you very much, David. And I'm one of the people, I'm sure, who have made this fantastic event even more challenging by changing the time at which I was going to be speaking. And that's because it's not my announcement, it's actually the Prime Minister is making a statement in Parliament this morning, and I have to be there in the chamber, so I have to speak. I couldn't speak when I originally wanted to. As Barris Verma said, I'll be dipping in and out during the day. But I really did want to be here, and I was so pleased to hear that this was happening. I'm Onwurah. I am the Member of Parliament for Newcastle Central and West. I am the chair of the All-Party Parliamentary Group for Africa. All-Party Parliamentary Groups are when MPs and peers from across the political divide, from all parties, come together around a subject that they're passionate about. And the All-Party Parliamentary Group for Africa, which is one of the biggest and certainly one of the most vibrant, exists to promote mutually beneficial relationships between the United Kingdom and countries on the African continent, and also to address some of the stereotypes about Africa and Africans, which unfortunately persist even to this day. I'm also the chair of the Select Committee on Science, Innovation and Technology, which is where my background, if you like, comes in. Before coming into Parliament, I worked as an engineer for 20 years all around the world. I'll talk a little bit about that. But I think, in many ways, sort of most importantly to this audience and with regards to this event, I'm a very proud member, and most of you will have guessed this already from my name. I'm a very proud member of the Nigerian diaspora. And I see that Nigeria is in the house. So let me tell you, I wish Nigeria was in the house more often. My father came from Nigeria to study at Newcastle University on, I think it was called a Commonwealth Scholarship. No, it was a British Council Scholarship or Commonwealth Scholarship in the 50s. Met my mother, and the rest is history. And I am a proud Nigerian Geordie. And as part of... Any Geordies in the house? Yeah! Excellent. Wow, fantastic. As a proud Nigerian Geordie, I grew up in Newcastle, fantastic, one of the best cities in the world, and I worked as an engineer. I studied Imperial, graduated, and worked as an engineer. And then in 2001, I had the privilege to work in Nigeria, rolling out Nigeria's first mobile network by this small little company that nobody had heard of called MTN. I was one of their first engineers. I was responsible for working on the design of the network, and it was a fantastic experience. It's one of the things I'm most proud of. But the reason I mentioned that specifically, not just to blow up my engineering reputation, but it's actually because, and people still ask me about the congestion on the network. I do hope that's improved. But it's because I saw then the difference that investment made. Before mobile networks came to Nigeria, 1 Nigerian in 100 had access to a phone. So as the penetration of telephony in Nigeria was 1 in 100. Within 2 years of MTN rolling out its network, it had got to 10% in terms of access to mobile telephony. And that was the difference that investment made into telecoms infrastructure. And that investment came from different places. It was partially from South Africa, from MTN. But more generally, what my experience there showed me, and what I think we see across the globe, is the difference that investment in people investment in skills, investment in infrastructure, and just to add, and that's why this conference is so fantastic, this summit is so fantastic, sustainable investment. Because I'll also say that I, as part of my time in Nigeria, I visited schools which had been built, for example, by Shell or other big oil companies, and there hadn't been the investment in the teachers or the investment in the ongoing maintenance, and those schools were unusable. So sustainable, long-term, intelligent investment can make a huge difference to any country, but it also gives huge returns, and that's why it's so important that this summit is looking at investment, sustainable investment, and the benefits it brings. I think that my constituents, for example, we could do there's not enough trade between Newcastle and the Afro-Caribbean countries. There are fantastic products and services that we could enjoy in Newcastle, not least Nigerian mangoes. I'm sorry to focus so much on Nigeria, but it is the country I've got the most experience of in the African and Caribbean world. There are huge opportunities there for the UK. The new Labour government's #1 mission is growth, and we can grow better and more effectively and more sustainably by investing in and investing with the African and Caribbean countries. And I'd also just want to talk, because the statement that the Prime Minister will be giving in a few minutes is about COP, his visits to COP and to the G20. And so, of course, sustainable investment is so important. And the impact of climate change, which we're already seeing across the world. I was at COP last year, where one of the objectives was to look at how we could attract more finance into into addressing climate change across the world. Because I often say that it's not the solutions to the impact of climate change. Many of them are there already, and they're also being developed by local people and communities. What is needed is the investment to be able to roll these out on a significant scale. And given that the consequences of the drivers of climate change, the emissions, were as part of the industrialization of the UK and the US and other countries, it is only just that the investment for addressing climate change should also come from those countries. I will be popping back in and out. I look forward to hearing the conclusions and the solutions of that you come up with. I hope we can engage further. I hope this will be an annual event. We can engage further both with the All-Party Parliamentary Group and with the Select Committee on Science, Innovation and Technology, because as Baroness Verma said, digitalization, technology, AI, they offer fantastic opportunities for investment. They do also can come with risks to human rights, to privacy, and particularly also to the in terms of the minerals and the rare minerals which are needed for some of these fantastic technologies, and so they need to be driven sustainably and in terms of transparent supply chains. But there are huge opportunities, and the objectives of this summit: fostering connections, promoting sustainable development, and exploring mutual trade opportunities. They align with a shared vision of a future where the benefits of science, innovation, and technology create dynamic economies across all our countries for the benefit of all humanity. So let's use the summit as a fantastic launchpad for action. Let us move from dialogue to deals, from networking to new ventures, and from shared ideas to shared prosperity. Thank you very much, and I look forward to working with all of you.